Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well. This is Clara with Card Stamping with Clara, coming to you from North Carolina. Got a few more cards this week. Made some more Christmas cards I hope you'll enjoy seeing. We're going to do a different kind of style today called the double Z fold, which was kind of new to me as I branch out into these different layouts, but hopefully we'll get it made correctly, and I hope you'll enjoy it. It's this card right here. It says Merry Christmas on the outside and sending love and peace this season. And then when you get it made, it sits up so pretty. So this is the card. And before we get started with the particulars of what I used, if you would please push that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. And it will enable you to get my videos, and it helps me too. So hopefully it'll work for both of us. I might mention tomorrow, I understand they're going to be putting some things on the clearance rack that hadn't been updated for a while, so you might want to check that out. And I think there's a new item or two coming out, so I'll put all that on my web page for you, and you might want to take a look at that. Okay, let's get started here, and I'm going to show you what I've used for most of these today. The Z-Fold I did use from the Peaceful Deer set, the sentiment, Merry Christmas and sending love and peace this season. And as far as the shapes, you can use any kind of shape you want that will fit on the panel. I had a little oval that's actually not available anymore, but whatever you've got that will work will be fine. And all the rest of the cards I pulled from this set For Unto Us. These beautiful Christian sentiments, and it just makes a different kind of card. So we're going to do this week. So let me show you these, and then we'll get to making the Z card. And I've got a pesky fly that came from somewhere that wants to get in on the show today, I think. Okay, this one I made in the navy blue, stamped in navy. These little gems are also from the Holiday Rhinestone, the basic Holiday Rhinestone collection. This paper is from the Whimsy and Wonder. Seems that blue is a little bit scarce this year, but I wanted something that looked like a sky and what have you, so I used that. And I also used the new folder, the embossing folder that has the notes on it. Merry Melody, I believe it's called, or something close to that. It's in the mini catalog. Anyway, I embossed that and put it in behind, and then I used one of the ornate labels. And on the inside, I put Glory to the Newborn King. So that's the first one. For this one, I used Real Red, and I used the paper from the Christmas trimming and Tidings of Christmas. Pardon me. I tell you, the older I get, the more it seems that my brain goes on stall. But it's the Tidings of Christmas is where this paper and this paper came from. And I stamped it in the Evening Evergreen. Got some little red rhinestones there. And on the inside, I put, May your heart be lifted in praise this Christmas for the wonderful gift of Jesus and the joy he brings to our lives. And my sister saw this card and she said, well, Clara, it looks like a cross. And I said, well, I guess it does a little bit, but I didn't really intend for it to. It just kind of came out that way. So that's the second card. This one, the sentiments came from that same For Unto Us. The paper also came from the Tidings of Christmas. And this is the Soft Succulent. And this is the Evening Evergreen in behind. These little jewels are from that same holiday collection. This edging that I cut out and placed there was from the Pinned Flower Dies. That's such a pretty little edging that you can use in various places. Honestly, this was a card that I worked and reworked, and it just evolved into this. But when it was all said and done, I was happy with it. So, you know, sometimes you got to try and try again. It's got the same sentiment and evening evergreen on the inside. This one says glory to the newborn king. On the outside, this one is embossed with embossing powder, not the folder. And this is the Blackberry Bliss. And I used the die from the Ornate Layers to put this design and this design, as well as these two edges. They're two different dies, but they came from the same set. And I used some of the paper from the Peaceful Place, and it was another one that just kind of worked out that way, and I really kind of liked it when it got finished. The basic gray seemed to go nicely with the Blackberry Bliss. So, and then I put some little gems and the same sentiment on the inside. This one, whoops, dropped my card here. This one is also done in Evening Evergreen, and this is also paper from the Tidings of Christmas, and this is from the Painted Christmas, I believe, and I've got the soft succulent underneath. I've got the label cut from Evening Evergreen, and that die came from the painted label dies, and some little red rhinestones. Also embossed in white the Merry Christmas on this one, and I put the same sentiment on the inside with the Evening Evergreen. Okay, this one is also with Evening Evergreen, and these little jewels come from the basic holiday set. They're so pretty, and they come in a lot of well, I think maybe 5 colors, but I just loved them. And even though these colors, these new colors, have some coordinating rhinestones and what have you, these also looked really nice, I thought, with this paper. So this came from the Painted Christmas 12 by 12 pack, and there again we have the soft succulent and the Evening Evergreen. And this came from the seasonal label die set. I cut that from the seasonal label dies, which is one that's really nice, and I've used it a lot this year. Just, you know, it came out of the mini catalog. Inside is the same with the Evening Evergreen. And the last one is Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And I took the star pattern from the Tidings of Christmas, I think they're called Christmas Trimmings die. And I just put that star back of the sentiment, and I had cut the sentiment out of using my layering squares this time. And there's a little Night of Navy right there around this, and then there's some silver and Night of Navy as a border. And I put some little silver rhinestones, and I also used this Whimsy and Wonder paper again. So this one says Glory to the Newborn King, and it is in Night of Navy. So I used a lot of those sentiments and tried to come up with different ideas that I hope will be beneficial to you. And we will get to making this card that's called a double Z fold card. So I wanted to show you this card is, first of all, I think the easiest thing to do in my mind anyway, is to score this entire 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, even though you do not use quite all of the paper. So this is the way I did it. If you want to do it different, that's fine. This first thing you do is you score at 2 1/8. And we'll try to get that lined up as good as I can. Okay. And then you score it at 4 1/4. So I'll just move it over and line it up. And remember, when you're using your Stampin' Trimmer to get a hold of the right, the score blade versus the cutting blade. All right, that's all the scoring you do. And then you turn it and you cut at 5 1/2, which is half of the sheet. And then you cut it again at 2 3/4, which is exactly half of, or a quarter of the entire sheet. It's a half of a half, or a quarter of the entire sheet of cardstock. So that's all the cutting and scoring that you have to do. So I'm going to put this back over, get it out of my way, and then we'll see if we can get this put together. I used this one. I picked up mint macaron to show you, but this card is actually done in evening, soft succulent, So this is the base of the card, the bigger Z, let's put it that way. It's scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And the reason I say it's easier to just score the entire page, then you don't have to go back and score it piece by piece. And you can use the extra piece for another card. So the first thing you're going to need to do is fold it and use your bone folder. And we'll just talk about each piece today. We'll do it a little different as we get to it. So I'm going to fold this one in half at that score line, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and burnish it a little bit. All right. Now, the next part, and I'm going to take this tape off. This is just Post-it tape. It's because my memory fails me. You don't fold it in. You fold it back on itself. So we're going to do it like that. And I'm going to try to keep my all my lines even, because if you don't, it won't be straight when you get done. All right. So there's your first Z. We'll lay that one over. And then the second one, of course, it's already scored at the same place. And it's going to be folded just a little bit different. What we're going to do is we're going to fold, like this. Take the wider piece and then fold it like you were going to fold the card in half, like a normal card. And you want to do the same thing. Take your bone folder and burnish it. Now, because this one is going to go on different, it's going to go on like this, then what you're going to do is you're going to fold this one back. You see, so that it'll fit like that. So we're going to take this one and fold it back on itself. Okay. So now we've got two Z's. Now the other things that we have here, I'll get my little bag here. I cut a piece of this really pretty Tidings of Christmas DSP, and I cut it 4 by 5 1/4. I'll take this off because we don't need any of this on our card. Okay. And it will go here. We're not going to put anything on this piece, but we do want to put something on the front. So that's going to be this piece that is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. And that way it fits just perfectly on the outside fold. Now, that'll be the ones that we will glue together in a second. This one, we are, for the larger front, we're going to have, it's 2 1/2 by 4. And don't worry about these. May just stay here. I can't seem to get this one to peel up. All these measurements will be in a PDF form that you can print out on my web page. But, you know, just for the instruction as we go along, I thought it would be nice to tell you what we're doing. And I believe I only cut one of these. Okay, well, we'll just put one on. But I put an extra one on the card that I made. But you wouldn't have to. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking about. I put this one here. And then when you put this here, you don't need one. That's the way we did it. I made this about a week ago, and my memory is about to, you know, it's trying to come back to me. I thought I'd reviewed enough that I knew what I was doing, but that might be questionable. I don't know. And then we'll fix it like that. All right, let's start putting these pieces together. We will start with this front piece. It's not a hard card to make. It's just, you know, you got a few more little pieces. And this, I don't think this print has got any particular design up or down. So if you are using a design that has a, you know, that's, you know, you got to keep it moving up. You want to move them all in the same direction. So, okay. See if I can get this. All right. I think that's good. And remember, if you're using the glue, you just want to pat it down, because if you don't, sometimes it can slip. All right. And this one, something we do want to kind of watch is when we fold it over, we want it to line up. So, let's put a little glue on this. We're about to have a cloudy afternoon here in North Carolina. It is so sticky outside. I think we might be getting some rain here soon. I stepped out a little while ago and it was just muggy. You'd think it was tropical air. Okay. Now this is going to be difficult, sure as the world. Let me pull it back just a little bit. So, nope, that's not enough. Now then, let's see how that looks. Okay, now you see why I was trying to get those to line up. And per usual, when I have to do that, I get glue on my fingers, but that's all right. As they say, it'll come out in the wash. All right. Now that looks pretty. All right, let's go ahead and put these on before we put these card together, because you know, anything that you have to do with a card standing up or what have you makes it a little bit more difficult. It might be doable, but not much fun. So, I really do like the way this card stands up, though. You know how it is at Christmas time, and you get cards in the mail, and you're trying to get them to stand up, and they fall over, or you have to tape them up or put them in a rack or something. But, you know, this one really stands up nicely. Okay. I think this particular pattern is one of my favorites in the this pack of paper. I don't know what it is about this one, but I really do like it. And this card does not necessarily, as a matter of fact, the one that I observed being put together was not a Christmas card. Okay. I had to stamp this one twice because it didn't quite stamp good the first time. But I flipped it over and took advantage of the fact that it doesn't show through. The only thing about this is you got to use something that's kind of small when it comes to sentiment size. You couldn't put a big old sentiment on it, but something small works real nice. I think that's lined up good too. Okay. I see a tiny little bit of glue right there. I'm going to get off. All right. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and put the Merry Christmas on. This is very vanilla paper that I use to match the background paper here. Okay. Oops! That's what I mean by sliding sometimes. Come on. You can move just a little bit so you'll be straight. Nothing wrong with being straight, is it? There's one thing about card making. It doesn't always come together the first attempt. Let's see if I've got any glue on that needs to come off before. Maybe just a tiny bit. I think I'm going to have to trim this just a little bit. The only thing about these adhesive removers is they seem to pick up, you know, the glue, but it gets to looking kind of grungy, and you have to trim it off. But I just don't like glue staring me in the face when I look at a card. Okay. It's amazing how good that works. All right, now then, what we want to do here is we want to put, we're going to glue this side down first. And then when we glue this, we'll be able to see exactly where we need to put glue on this half. So we're going to put some on this and try to center it. And just the first little section. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way for my benefit, just so I can kind of look at both sides and try to get it in a proper distance from top to bottom. Okay, now then. All right. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good, but we only want to put glue on half of this side. I'm going to use that as a guide. I think there's a better way to do this maybe, but this will work. Because your Z-fold will not work if you get it, the glue, where it's not supposed to go. Okay, and you see this just fits perfectly in an A2 envelope, even though when you stand it up, you know, you've got this card that sits out all over everywhere. All right, let me get my pick a tool over here and we'll put a few gems on this and we'll be finished. I know there's a lot of people out there that have already made this kind of card, but there might be a few people that haven't. So I'm going to put 3 little jewels. These are just little red rhinestones. And I kind of like to put one on one end and one on the other and then put one in between them. I don't know if that helps or not, but I think it might. And then I'll kind of try to move it enough to get it right in the center. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to set it up and you can see exactly how it sits. Isn't that a nice card to be able to send to somebody? And it's really not all that hard to make. So there you go, all done. Of course, it may spring up a little bit, but that's okay. The envelope will hold it in place. All right, that's it for today. Hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you will try one because they really are a nice card. And you can do birthday cards, you can do get well cards, you know, all kinds of things just using different designer paper. That's the beauty of this particular card, is just, choose something that I think has a smaller design in it. Would probably work better, but that's just my personal preference. Whatever you like will be fine, and decorate it. And you can do more than this if you want to jazz it up. You could tie a ribbon, or you can, tie a little baker's twine, or different things. But this is your basic card, so you can take it from there and add whatever you like. Don't forget about the clearance rack things. I don't know what they'll be tomorrow, but I'm going to take a look, and I hope you will too. If you need anything, I'd appreciate your business. Remember that if you purchase $50 with me, you can choose an item for free. Just let me know what you want, so you won't be charged for it. Just remember, you got to use the host code, though, if you get a free gift. That's the way I know, who has purchased something and who hasn't. So for that purpose, use that host code. And if you haven't pushed the subscribe button, I would ask you one more time to please do that. I hope you have a nice rest of the week. It's just about over again. I think we are, they come and they go. I guess maybe it's, you know what? I think I'm confused. This is Tuesday. I was thinking it was Thursday. Silly me. I am in a hurry to get this week over, aren't I? Oh, mercy. Well, nevertheless, have a good week. And I'll be back in a few days with another tutorial. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.